Peace, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Leeoh and
Lance and Leeoh.
podcast. I'm Lance,
I'm Leeoh.
and we just want to welcome you,
Yes, sir.
um, to our journey.
Yeah, man. We really appreciate you guys pulling up and just tuning in. We do have a lot for you guys, a lot in store. We know some of you tuning in do know us, a lot of you don't, and because of that, we wanted to call this first episode Icebreaker, just to kind of break the ice, so you can get to know Lance, get to know me, Leeoh, and then we just kind of go from there.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Let's make it happen.
let's do it.
So we are from Atlanta, Georgia,
Hmm.
Gwinnett County to be specific, and we've been here pretty much our whole lives. We travel the world, of course, but this is always going to be home for us. So that is, where we are right now.
Big shout out to Gwinnett. Big shout out to Grady Hospital.
Yeah, it was Gwinnett Medical for me, which is now Northside. I was
Hmm.
supposed to be a Grady baby, but I was coming out too fast.
One there's a crazy story about Lance when he was born. I don't know if you guys know this. Most of you guys probably don't know this, but when Lance was born, he was actually born with an umbilical cord around his neck, and it really had everybody scared. I was extremely young at the time. I was like maybe one and something, but I've always heard the story, and Gwinnett Medical actually saved Lance's life. If they hadn't gone there, if they had gone to another place, my brother probably wouldn't even have been here. So yeah, he was born with an umbilical cord around his neck.
I was trying to take myself out the game early.
Hey man, I'm glad you didn't do that, man.
Yeah, me
Glad you
too,
didn't do that.
man. Made it through.
Yeah, so it's a lot of history out here for us, a whole lot of history. We did, we lived in Gwinnett, we've lived in Atlanta, and kind of just went back and forth most of our lives, and but we've always stayed, here in Georgia.
So, um, what do you think is the biggest purpose of this show?
Man, I think the biggest purpose of this show is to just have and share some great conversations, not just with our listeners, but also, well, I would say with our listeners and our people. I've learned that you learn a lot from conversations. I know we learn a lot from school, we learn a lot from experience, but conversations, you can have one conversation with somebody and it change your whole life. You can witness a conversation and it change your life. Or you can have a conversation with someone else and change their life. So I really just want to share some great conversations because I'm a learner, I'm someone who loves to grow, I'm someone who loves to build, and it's very hard to know what's inside someone without a conversation. So this is an opportunity for people to have a conversation with us or just share our conversations and hopefully they can take something great from it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The reason I wanted to call it Leo and Lance, and you said, nah, Lance and Leo, we just kind of put it together. But a lot more people knew you than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, your name should go first. And out of respect, you like, nah, Lance and Leo, because you look at me as a bigger brother. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
sure, bro.
but, that's what we ended up coming up with the name. Because then everybody would always be like, Lance and Leo, or Leo and Lance. You know,
If you
so it,
saw one, you saw the other.
saw one, saw the other.
That's a fact.
And so we just wanted to kind of keep that. I know that's going to resonate with the people that do know us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think it was a great title. I think it was very witty. I think it was also very authentic, because it's us, and a lot of people know us. So I think it was a great way to name this show. I do still think it should be Lance and Leeoh, but I get it, Leo and Lance, Lance and Leeoh.
Yeah, clearly I'm a chauffeur. That's what my profession is right now, but I'm much more things than just that. I was taught that the more you learn, the more you earn, and money is very important. It's up there with oxygen. It's not everything, but it's a lot. So um, I learned a lot of things, but right now this is what I'm doing for uh, being able to take care of my family and myself.
Congratulations too, man, on your business. I know it wasn't easy. Some people can just look at you and say, well, he just got this or got that, but no, it was a process, and I watched you go through the process. I watched you build from the ground up, so I have much respect for you and your accomplishment.
I appreciate that. Likewise, brother.
Yeah, for sure. And as for me, a lot of you guys may know me from music and things like this, but at the core, I do think that I'm a builder. I've thought very heavily about that concept. And one thing that how can I say, when I look at just the running theme in my life, I've always been building things, whether I'm building people, building myself, trying to fix things that are broken or trying to make things better. No matter where I go, what arena I step into, that's always where I find myself. So at my core, I do think that I'm a builder. And one of the benefits of being a builder is that you know how to use what you have to get the things that you need. I've never been the type to be a complainer, and because of that, not focusing on complaining, I can always focus on the solution. So if I'm missing something, let me see what's around me, and then I'll use it, and make it pop. So that's how I would consider myself. I do love to do many things. Run different businesses. Just I'm so passionate about music, but as I mentioned at the core, that's me, and I hope that I can build with you guys. Some of you guys may have seen some of my posts, some of the different things that I've done, just having, conversations, or not even conversations, just talking about different topics. And that was just me expressing my true self. I love information, I love to learn. And I think that learning is what keeps us alive. And with learning, one of the biggest cornerstones of learning to me is curiosity. So because of that, I also have had my hands in so many things just because I've always been curious. Why does this work? Where are we going? What's the point of this? And so that's when I just really realized, after just going through that process with myself, that that's who I am at my core. So I hope that I continue to build, and that's something that I can bring to this podcast. Want to build. When we're building, we're taking things up, we're making things better. And with building, you also sometimes have to destroy things. So I hope that we can destroy, negative perspectives. Negative just meaning things that don't work. So you may hear me say negative and positive a lot. If I say something is negative, that means it doesn't work. If I say it's positive, that means it works. So this can vary based on culture. What may work in one place may not work in the next. What's positive here may be negative there. But I just hope to be able to share that with you guys. And I really see big things for this, man. I see big things for this. I'm really thankful. I know a lot of you guys don't know this, but Lance actually came up with this idea to put this together, and I was very happy when he came to me with the idea, just because it was him, and it was genius, because if we get a chance to build together, for me, that's my win out of this. I just want to spend more time with my brother, and the other win is that we can also build with our people and just have some great conversations. So I appreciate you, bro, for pulling me in on this, you know what I mean, and just let me share this time with you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we talked about doing something like this for years, and now it's just the perfect time to make it happen. And clearly, based on the people that have been looking at what we got going on and commenting and liking and sharing, uh, people want to see this. So I feel like what better way to spend more time with you and with our audience is to do something like this, and hopefully people can walk away feeling like they got a lot of value, and we've made some type of impact in people's lives. Because sometimes all you need is that one number in the combination lock. Sometimes that's all people need, is just that one thing that can take them to the next level. They might not be able to do it by themselves, or with the environment or the people that they're around. So I know I had people help me out, and so I was able to crack a lot of different codes, and hopefully we can do the same thing for our audience, our family, our friends, our peers. And, yes,
Yeah.
this is
No.
something I think is going to be great as well.
Yeah, for sure. It makes me think about a bill that we had a while ago, man, just about a seed. And you can take a seed, you can throw it on this highway right now. You know what I mean? It may grow. You have those anomalies to where you'll have that rose that grows through concrete. But in most cases, every seed doesn't break through. But if you take that same seed and you put it in the right soil, it'll grow effortlessly. So I hope that this podcast is also a place where people can find that good soil, they can plant and grow without any force. Nah, man, it's heavy. It's heavy. Now, I did have a question for you. We've been talking about this, but I just want to go a little further. Like, where do you see this going? Like, when you pulled up on me about this, and you was like, man, let's do this. What was the outcome? Like, was there anything that you saw, like maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Was it anything in particular?
Um, I had an epiphany a few weeks ago when I brought it to you,
Okay.
and it was something. It was more like a because we had been talking about it for years, and I was just thinking to myself, like, this would be a great birthday present for me to start something and get it out on my birthday right before. So it was more like a goal that I wanted to accomplish, to be honest. And I know, it's hard to just get started. So just taking that first step is sometimes the hardest part. Um, but I was just thinking like, dang, me and Leeoh, we're so much not alike, right? We're very different.
We are.
We're like night and day, and there's a big contrast. However, we think similarly on certain things,
Hmm.
but we live two very different lives, but we get similar results.
Hmm.
And that was something I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really matter what people do. It's the way in which they do it, and the ability to be able to expand and grow in anything. And I was like, this could really help a lot of people out. And so that's what I saw. And the one thing I love about this
Hmm.
is we don't really have any financial incentives right now, and we could just build with each other and talk. And it's interesting to hear your take on things. Every time we talk, we spend hours and hours and hours, and a lot of times we're just thinking like, man, I wish we had this stuff recorded. Of course, some stuff can't be heard because it's intellectual property for business ideas and stuff like that. But there are things I'm like, you know what, people should hear what we're talking about because I'm so interested in what you're saying. And you helped change my life. I know sometimes I have that same effect on you. So I don't see any limit to what this can become. Um, if it doesn't become anything, that's cool because the experience is priceless
Yeah.
that we're sharing right now,
Yeah.
and we're making history. This is a time in our life we'll be able to look back and be like, man, we were grinding, we were doing all these different things, we was trying, we was failing, just getting back up. Um, and just kind of capturing this moment when we are on top of our games right now. So
No, I can dig that. When you mentioned the fact though about us being so different, right? Uh, but being the same in a way, it makes me think about complementary lines. You remember that from when we were in school?
complementary
Yeah,
lines.
complementary lines. Well, if in mathematics, right? How these equations pretty much work is you have a straight line, right? And the straight line equals 180 degrees. As we know, a straight line is 180 degrees. Now, in mathematics, when you have a particular problem, what they'll do is they'll put an angle on top of the line. You know what I mean? So you may have a line, it may be like this, and there's an angle that kind of comes off like that.
Okay.
And then in the equation, they'll give you one side of the angle, and they'll say, well, this angle is 45 degrees. You know what I mean? What is the other angle? And in order to find out what the other side is, all you have to do is simply subtract the number that you have from the 180 degrees, and then you'll get the remainder. Now, but this is the beauty of complementary lines. Both angles are totally different from each other. Everything inside that 45-degree angle has nothing to do with what's in that 135-degree angle. Totally different, but they're both on the same line. They're both going the same place. And sometimes that's how it can be. We can be totally different people, but if we're going the same place, then we're walking the same line. We're walking the same line, we're walking the same foundation. We're made of the same material, and that's us. We have the same mother and father. You know what I mean? But together, we can go straight. And I think that that's one element that's very powerful for us. That
Yeah.
we've always been different, but yet we're the same. We share a lot of the same values. We just take different steps to get there. And we both respect each other's avenue. You've never once heard me say, hey, don't do this. You've never once come to me and say, hey, Leeoh, don't try this. We may have given each other warnings like, hey, bro, be careful for this person. Watch this. Hey, did you copyright that? Things like this. But it was never, we never discouraged each other. So, yeah, it is very powerful. And I'm glad you brought that up as
Yeah.
well, that we are different. So we are going to be able to give people two different perspectives, but we're going to go the same direction.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, and I also appreciate you showing me how uneducated I am. I had no idea what a complimentary line is.
Wow.
Like, damn, I did not listen in school at all. Matter of fact,
Wow.
I don't even think I finished geometry.
You did, man.
I mean, I studied, shapes and
Yeah.
stuff like that and angles,
Cause you got your
but
associate's degree.
I got my associates in culinary arts. I know how to cook. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, you just really, really made me feel like I didn't know enough, man. So I appreciate that.
Nah,
However,
yeah.
it does make sense with that analogy. So I do see things, from what you're saying right now. And now you just taught me something, which is great.
Wow, man.
And hopefully, people will be able to look at this and say, "Dang, I didn't know that." And, of course, trust but verify, right? Go back and look. A lot of stuff we're gonna be talking about is in the public domain. If we're wrong about something, like, hey, man, actually, that wasn't complimentary. It was, trifecta line. Like, let us know.
Yeah, we
Fact
here to
check
go.
us.
Yeah, we don't know everything.
But yeah, that's all. I appreciate you doing that. So, just kind of keeping things flowing.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope that we're recording right now, because if we're not, we just did a lot of practicing, which, we never lose, we only learn, right?
That's right.
At least that's what they said.
Well,
So
we'll just let it keep rolling. If we missed it,
we missed it.
but we still we didn't miss the lesson. And just to build, bro, like I said, man, I'm here really for you. I'm here. Yeah, that's really what it is, man. Everything else is just a plus. We've been separated so long, man. You've been doing your thing, I've been doing my thing, and we just haven't had the time. And when we do come together, we are able to talk. Like, we have some very great conversations, but they're far and in between sometimes.
Yeah.
So this is excellent. So hopefully we're recording, but if not, it is what it is. But what were you gonna ask me? Was it something you were thinking about, a thought that you had, or what?
Yeah. So the icebreaker thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was another concept that I kind of thought of.
Okay.
I didn't think of it. So a lot of people might not know. I mean, a lot of people do know, but majority of the world don't. Most of everybody don't know. But I was in a program called Toastmasters. Shout out to my sister Olivia.
Yeah, big sis.
And I was always terrified of public speaking, like a lot of people, and it helped me learn about it. But the first speech that I had to do was something called an icebreaker, and I had to do a 5-minute talk about who I was, pretty much, where I come from, what I'm trying to do, and things I've learned, and kind of put it into a speech. And so I did it, and I got a lot of great feedback. And so I felt like, okay, first episode, we're doing the same thing. We're introducing ourselves and bringing people along for the journey, and hopefully giving people something to look forward to.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. That was good thinking and a great way to pull from that. It's crazy that you were in Toastmasters, because I was in a program called Speechcraft.
Okay.
And in Speechcraft, I actually did learn some great fundamental skills when it comes to public speaking. We did the impromptus. We did a lot of debates. I was on the debate team, and but I did miss out on the icebreaker. But that makes perfect sense, man, because sometimes people just get started. They just want you to rock with them, and they don't know nothing about you. And that's not how it goes. Cause I know me personally, I'm not dealing with anybody I don't know. And you do have to build that trust. So that was really great thinking about, doing the icebreaker, for sure. Again, this is why this should be called Lance and Leeoh. Leeoh and Lance.
Nah, man, Leeoh and Lance.
Right. Well, you just lucky that the Facebook and all that is already stuck, because I got to wait 60 days before I can change the name again. So it looks like you won, bro.
Hey, man, that's what's up.
You won.
Kudos to me.
That's right.
So let's just, go down a list real quick. What is something about you that not a lot of people know?
Man, something about...
Like, not even me. Like, something I don't even know.
I'm Batman.
Oh, it's not.
Nah, man. Something that not even you know. Man, it's so crazy, because I honestly think I keep things for myself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, in terms of, I would say I'm sure there are things, things that I have done, places that I have gone. But if there's something that no one knows about me, even like I've shared certain things with certain people. You know how you have different relationships with different people. So some things you tell one person, you don't tell the next. You love both of them, but it's just kind of compartmentalized. That's kind of how I am with things. Now, do I have something that no one knows about me? Uh, Let me see. Man, I think that
You can plead the fifth if you need to,
no, I
bro.
don't want to. I don't want to. It's something in me that makes me think that I am going to live forever.
Oh, it's not.
Facts, bro. Something in
Okay.
me that makes me think that. And why I say that is, I look at nature, right? And I look at a tree that's growing. And I know that people may believe in what they want to believe in, which is nothing wrong with everybody grabbing philosophies and religions and spirituality. We all on a path. But there's one law that no one can deny, and that is the law of nature. All right, and when it comes to the laws of nature, in order for something to grow, it must first go through a process. And it's no way for you to skip a process. You may speed certain things up, but there's no way for you to actually skip the process of growth. So when I think about myself, there's certain things that I catch on to pretty quickly, and there are certain things that I just feel like I already know, and it makes me wonder if I didn't, how can I say this? I don't just know these things just because I know if I'm going off of this principle of nature. I've only gained this knowledge or this experience or this level of wisdom based on going through a process. I don't know where I've gone through the process. I don't know if it was just through the womb. I don't know if it's through genetic memory. I'm not sure how deep this goes, but I, I think that I have been around for a long time.
Mm.
And I also think that I will continue to be around, whether it is through a thought or through a bloodline or through some element that we can't describe. But that's something I think that I've never shared with anybody, that I do think that I'll
Yeah.
be here. I think I'll be here forever.
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
deep. That's deep. I wasn't expecting that one, man.
well, you made me dig for that. You made me dig for it. Something I don't think about much. But it's a lot that I don't know about you. And you'll people you'll be playing, bro. You don't play, man.
Oh
So
man.
what is something, if you want to share several, if you have,
There's one thing that
you
what that
can,
nobody
that
knows.
nobody knows,
Oh
that
man.
you feel
I,
safe sharing. I don't want to
yeah, I
put you
can't
out there
go to
like that.
jail either.
Yeah, word. We gotta stay out of that place.
I got Neo. I got to watch over.
Definitely, bro.
One thing, I should have been. I was listening to you because you blew my mind with that one. So I wasn't even thinking of the answer.
Wow,
Um, well, dang, I don't want to cheat and say something that you don't know about me either.
man.
Um, um, so when I was starting off learning the process of self improvement and personal development, self help, all of that stuff, right? I went on a big rabbit hole. It's like 2014. And I was really looking at, okay, well, what would I do if I didn't have to work for money and I had, $10 million and money just going to keep coming? What would I do? And my first response was, one, I want to travel, which is what I do now for the most part. But I wanted to become a psychologist.
Oh
I don't
wow.
think I ever told anybody that.
Yeah, wow,
But the reason I didn't do it is I didn't want to go back to school for 8 years,
man.
and I didn't like psychology that much. But I do love the topic of psychology, why we are what we are, why we do the things that we do. Um, so just I took a psychology course in culinary school at Le Cordon Bleu. And that was
Okay.
my favorite class, and it helped me so much through life, being a father, being a spouse, um, dealing with employees, dealing with all these different personalities. So I really, really love psychology, and I wanted to be a psychologist, but I didn't pull the trigger on it. I decided to try to be a construction worker and some other stuff, right? And this is where I ended up. But that's something I don't think I've ever told anybody.
Wow, man. That's powerful, bro.
Yeah, 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 man.
Well, I can definitely see that. I think about the books that you used to read all the time, and a lot of the books that you took a liking to. Some that I introduced you to, some that you introduced me to, and it does make sense when you say that, though. It doesn't seem like something way off from your character. Just from any of the Robert Greene books that we've read. You know what I mean? It just, we could definitely go down a list, but it was always dealing with uh, that self improvement and your interaction with other people. Yeah, man. Wow. But see, again, That's why you the big brother, man. That's why you big brother, for sure.
And real quick, I just want to see something.
Okay.
All right.
It's still recording.
Still rolling.
Fire.
Got everything.
Fire. Fire, man. And now, I know you talk about Leeoh, right? And which is your son,
Yeah,
for those.
Nehemiah,
Nehemiah.
also known as Leeoh.
Leeoh. Yeah. Now, you're a father. I'm not a father. Is there any, one day I may have kids, I may not, I don't know. I don't know what life has for me, but if I do, is there something that you can share with me? Because it just made me think about, like, wanting to be a psychologist and just what you gain from that. Is there anything that you could share with me just that I could possibly be prepared for if I have, any kids? I'm getting older. I know I haven't made that move yet. But
Well, I would say, like any other parent would tell you, there's nothing that you can really do to prepare for the process. I would just say enjoy your sleep right now, because the first 3 to 6 months you are not going to be getting a lot of sleep. But just everything that you do already, right now you're prepared. Of course, being financially stable is a plus, and just having a plan and a strategy on, how are you gonna like feed, clothe, school, raise, all these different things. Just start imagining now how it would be if you had a girl or a boy or whatever. Like I was cool with any, gender, but I was lucky to have a boy because I really wanted a boy. I think most guys want boys, but I also think, I think I will have a girl one day. God bless me with one. But yeah, it's really like the moral of the story is I don't think nothing really gonna prepare you. Just make sure you got your money right and make sure you're enjoying your sleep right now. That's really the only thing I could tell you.
That's facts. That's game right there. Thank you.
Yeah. And also the person you have it with is so important. It's very, very important to make sure it's the right person, and on so many different levels. So, and that only takes time, very difficult to know who somebody is just in a couple years. But we don't have the time either, so you got to have a lot of good intuition and just having a lot of great conversations with your spouse. Make sure it's the right person.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And not to change up the subject too much, but to kind of stay on subject, just talking about the right person, in any aspect. It's like it's so hard to really know people because we don't really know ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you think about that, it's hard for me to even want to find new friends because when you think about what a friend is and what it takes to know if you have a friend, it's like, do you really want to go through what it takes to know? You know what I mean? If you got a real friend next to you, that's just one of those things, man.
Well, I'm gonna play psychologist right now and let you know, man, you got trust issues, dog. Just bluntly speaking, because I feel like you're right. It's hard, but let's say you have $1 billion,
Okay.
and I put you on an island by yourself.
Okay.
What good is that $1 billion if you don't have anybody around? Like, who's gonna enjoy it with you? Who's gonna bring these experiences to you?
Am I able to still buy things while I'm on the island? Like,
you gonna be able to buy stuff from animals?
no, just I'm
Animals
saying,
don't take money.
Damn, I won't even see nobody. I can't even ship nothing to myself.
You can't do none of that. It's just you with $1 billion.
Okay.
All hundreds.
All hundreds.
Small face.
Old
Not the big face. Small face.
Real money.
And gold bars, everything. But it's just you. Like, what good is the money if it's just you?
You're right.
So I would say what I had to learn, because I was very similar to you when it comes to that, is just get around the right people. I was doing a lot of the right things for the wrong people. And as soon as I started doing the right things for the right people, you're sitting there in what you're sitting in now.
That's right.
Just has rewarded me because I surrounded myself with the right people. I still love the wrong people from a distance, and I want everybody to do well. I don't got a hate and bone in my body. No, that's a lie. It's a lot of niggas I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not gonna act on it, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and flex like that. And that's a lot of niggas I don't really fuck with. Um, we can bleep that out.
That's a fact. No, I'm
But
with it. I think they need to know.
yeah, you know,
Need to know.
and the last thing I'll say on that part is one of the greatest things about this is if we ever do make money off of this, we're gonna be able to make money off of people that don't like us
Mm.
because they're gonna be looking to see if we're talking about them.
Yeah.
And to y'all, I would say I love you, you know, and I hope everything goes well for you. But just don't come around like everything's cool. And that's not personal to anybody specifically because I've rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So a lot of these things I've done wrong to people, and because I wasn't aware of who I was as a person and how the world works. And I've forgiven myself, I've forgiven everybody else who did something to me. These are just truths and facts that I'm not, proud of, but I do feel like I've redeemed myself with the people that matter the most. And so, I just leave it on that. But back to you trusting people, just get around the right people. And, you know, Warren Buffett says you can't do a good deal with a bad person. So
Wow.
I live by that too. So I
Wow.
don't try to do any business with somebody I feel like the character doesn't match mine.
Mm.
Like we don't have what you call it complementary lines.
That's right.
Like I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So find your tribe. I'm building a new one now. I still do, even the people I don't really rock with, I do love them. I think I just don't like what they did to me.
Mm-hmm.
It said
That's right.
about me.
That's right. I can
So
dig
I
it.
still like them and love them. Like they're a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, being around the right people is everything, right? And that if you talking about living forever, so you should be good. They gonna go. You gonna be here. We gonna leave. So you ain't gotta worry about it that much. But I
Yeah.
want to be around people that I like, I trust, and I enjoy their company,
Yeah.
which is another reason why I wanted to do this with you because we have a great time every time we link up, which is
Mm-hmm.
not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this helps out with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. No, for sure. Now this is episode 1. This is the icebreaker. We're breaking the ice. All right. Now, as this episode comes to an end, what can people expect to see in episode 2?
What can people expect to see?
Or what can they expect to gain? Or what can they
Game?
expect to pick up on? Anything to look forward to?
Yeah, so I feel like there's so many people online trying to make money, tell people how to make money,
Mm-hmm.
and all that good stuff. Um, Good thing for us, and I don't mean this any type of cocky, arrogant way, y'all. I'm very humble, but we don't need people's money. We make money.
That's a fact.
Money flows to us in abundance, and I would love to see it flow to everybody else. So this is like a way to give back without expecting anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because me hearing, oh man, like I've helped a lot of people in my life through my industry, personal things, like even with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've done so many things that you can't quantify with dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, people are gonna get value. I think because I feel like value is the name of the game for anything. You want to bring value to people.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is up there as well.
That's right.
I want people to trust what we're saying, and that's just by being authentic. Not being scripted or whatever. And also entertainment, man. We love to laugh.
That's a
We
fact.
both have big sense of humors, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and so we always roasting each other and having a great time doing that as well. So I feel like the purpose of life is just to enjoy this experience that we're blessed with.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that we grew up with didn't make it, and my heart goes out to everybody. That's why I'm not online a lot. Like I'm not on Facebook and Instagram a lot because like every time I get on there, somebody's dying or, it's just a lot of just. I know we're getting older. It's like damn, and I wish we could do more to help people and be there for people. And it's just it's sad sometimes. So I don't know where I was going with that. I just want to let people know like we see what's going on.
No, we do.
I wish things were better, But to the people that are here that didn't make it out, um, you know, another part of life is getting better, learning, iterating, um, and you know, not being selfish with information, not being selfish with resources. I feel like there's a lot of people that keep secrets on how to do things better, make money. But the way I look at things, nobody can stop what we got going on.
Nobody. Facts.
We've made ourselves too valuable, and like I say that very humbly. But that's just how I feel, and it
Right.
could be wrong,
Right.
but yeah, that's where I'm at, and
No, I'm with you, and I do think that this next episode and all the episodes to come are about to be, how can I say, just thick with information, a lot of substance. Because that's one thing I love about you and how I know that we're the same is that we're not about to hide any information. One thing I'm never gonna do, I will never give a person my route if I can. We build on it. Me and you've talked about this many times. You never make yourself killable,
mm-hmm.
so you'll never be a fool to let people know what can crush you, or what can give you life. That goes for anybody, everybody listening
Mm-hmm.
now. The only way you can be killed is if you make yourself killable. So it's always great to share, but you have to know what to share. Like, for instance, you guys may not share where you live, you may not share where your children go to school. And that doesn't make you someone close fisted because you're protecting what's yours. That's just, one of the laws of nature. You must survive. But when it comes to this money thing, whether it is the actual currency or it is something that can increase your product capability, that we will give freely. We'll give that freely. So as we continue to build, Lance has so many things to share with you guys. I have things to share with you guys. How to get things done, and just help push your life, to the next level. We definitely have that in store. At the same time, we will still be doing a lot of building. We will be coming from a perspective to where we'll be figuring things out together. But when it comes to the foundation, being a provider, being someone who is a protector, being someone who is a teacher, a leader, a great follower, these are things we'll share with you guys because to me, I know that it works because we're alive. And one thing that I've learned about life is that unfortunately, once you no longer fulfill your purpose or you break any law of nature, you will cease to exist. And that could be from unfortunate situations that happen, whether it's conflict, whether it's, health, whether it's genetic, which is certain things we can't get away from. But the fact that we're here right now uh, lets me know that we have something great to share. So I know that these next episodes, especially the next one, is going to be amazing, and the ones to come. And the biggest thing for me is that in this podcast, you guys will get two different perspectives. Two different perspectives. So it's not a situation where there's like somebody that's a star, although I feel like my brother is the star, and he's always been a star in my life. At the same time, you will still get two very strong perspectives. And this is not coming from a place of judgment. This is not coming from a place of resentment. We're not here to bash anyone on their personal beliefs, their personal just beliefs on any level, because we know everybody's learning, everybody's growing. So something you believe today, you might get some information and it change your whole mind and you'll be on to something else. So why would I cut you off for something that you feel now? Unless it's just something that's just in danger to myself and my communities and the communities in the world. But other than those certain exceptions, you have a right to think, how you think. So we're not here to bash anything. We're just here to build. We're here to add. And that's one of the keys to making money, being successful. When you're making money, you don't think, I'm going to cut this out to start doing this. No, you want to figure out, how can I do this and that, and this, and this, and that, and this, and that's the type of time that we're on. So we want to help you guys with that. And for those of you tuning in that got your stuff together, or in some areas you do, some areas you don't, we still want your feedback. We want your information because we all need it. We all growing together. So this is time for that. It's time for us to build. It's time for us to go to the next level, as a community. This is not for, may not be for everybody. Some people like rock and roll, some people like country, some people like pop, hip hop, and none of those are wrong. But for the community that we're building here, we want to take everybody to the next level. We want to see everybody, if this is important to you, Everybody making at least six figures, if that's something that's important to you, and to have a mind frame to match or surpass what you possess, physically. And so it's a lot. It's getting ready to unfold. I do feel that I see it, and something else about me is that whenever I step into something, I never step into something if I can't see my way out. I don't start something A and B and I can't see C. Now I need to see all the way to Z, and this is one of those situations where I see Z very clear. So stick around, stay tuned, because we're going up, and I just hope that you guys come along with us.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, so thank you guys tuning in, man.
Yeah, we really appreciate y'all. Um, I mean, we wouldn't do it without y'all. Like, it's just we know a lot of people. A lot of people know us. Probably more people know us than we know them. We're far from reaching the levels that we know are capable, but we want to bring as many people with us as possible, and change as many lives as possible. So I'm looking forward to everything that's in store, brother.
That's right, bro. You know what they say, man. You want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together.
Facts, 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 man. Well, does this conclude the icebreaker?
Yep, it concludes it.
All right. Well, that's it.